In every relationship, in every marriage, there are moments of arguing and fighting. And very often, at some point in the argument, the content of what's being argued over kind of hits a wall and really can't progress any further. And so both individuals, in a sense, retreat into their corners of the proverbial room. And there's this tension that exists between them, kind of like this elephant in the room, in which both people are tiptoeing around each other, not sure what they can say, what they should say, shouldn't say, what the other person is thinking. But on the inside, both people are really very often wanting, waiting, wishing, hoping, praying that something's going to happen that's going to break the ice, that's going to cut the tension and bring the relationship back online. And the Piascetzner Rebbe tells us that there's actually a way for us to do this. It's relatively simple, though it's not easy. The Torah tells us that when something is very close to you, but you want to be able to access it, ki karov elecha hadavar ma'od, when something is close, beficha ubilvavcha la'asoso. Sometimes to access that closeness, there's a process of beficha, through speech, through the mouth, and then bilvavcha, then it's felt in the heart. And what this means in the context of relationships is that when the relationship has hit that moment where there's this elephant in the room, this awkward silence, what's needed is for one person to take that dive, to reach out and put themselves out there and say, hey, I know we just had this fight, we just got in this argument, but maybe we could talk about that tomorrow. Maybe we could put that on pause, put that on hold, and for tonight we could just talk about something else. We can enjoy dinner together. We can go for a walk, hang out, whatever it might be. You know, the Gottmans, Doctors John and Julie Gottman, in their research on what makes successful relationships, they found that one of the indicators for longevity and satisfaction in a relationship is the ability for the two people to have rounds to their arguments. So what that means is that when an argument has hit a wall, when it's not going to get any further, don't try and just plow through it and figure it all out, because it's just going to escalate. So call a break, call a pause, almost like in a boxing match when the bell goes off to say this is the end of the round and everyone get back into their corner. But then unlike a boxing match, don't necessarily come back out and re-engage the fight. Come back out and re-engage in some other way. Enjoy each other's company in some other way and put the argument on hold. And then at a later point, not too far into the future, not too far in the distance, re-engage the content of the argument once we've both regulated and grounded ourselves and can do so in a non-escalated, argumentative kind of a way. And sometimes that's going to require multiple rounds, numerous rounds. But what the Piascetzner Rebbe is telling us is that in between those rounds, where there is that awkward silence, that tension, that elephant in the room, we're tiptoeing around each other, uncomfortable, but really wanting to reconnect, we can bring it back online by putting ourselves out there through speech, even if we're not feeling comfortable doing so, even when the bilvavcha comes afterwards, the comfort on the inside isn't there yet. You can start beficha, through your mouth, and then it'll come to a more comfortable place of bilvavcha.